Hello, I want to show you something about rendering lots and lots of curves and something about the so-called channel box. You reach the channel box right here on the very right part of the Maya window. This is the channel box. We'll see what we need it for in a second. So let's create a plane to place our object onto. Scale it up. Now under Windows we go to the General Editor's content browser to get some geometry. For example, under Vehicles here, modeling vehicles, we can get a car or a biped or an animal. Let's get a horse. And why is the horse not in the scene? Because it's so large, really. So we scale it down like this. It comes in dimensions of meters, and our scene is in dimensions of centimeters, so this is much better. It has a very nice and clean geometry, as you can see. And what we'll do now is we'll render this. We need a light, of course. And I just pick a standard skydome light, and we render this scene. So this is the horse on that plane. If you want the cool look of the lines here, which basically make the model of that horse, you can actually render them, but you need a specific shader for this. So right mouse click and assign a new material, and here under the Arnold materials you find all the way down here the AI wireframe. So that will render the horse in a wireframe fashion, like this. You also have the Toon Shader. The Toon Shader, let's try this. I go to right mouse click again, new material, and Arnold, and it's called aiToon. It won't change anything really from the horse. It doesn't look toonish at all. That is because you need to go, and there's a tutorial, or maybe 2 or 3 I did previously. You need to go to the Arnold render settings and then to the filters, and I think this will be fixed and more easy in upcoming versions of Maya, but the current version, which is 2018, needs us to visit that menu to contour. The width here is 2, and then we can render that horse, and it already has a contour. And you can use the contours inside as well with some tweaking. Whatever. I just want to do something totally different, and that is the following. I right mouse click here and I select Edge. Let me select all of them. So they're all selected now. And now I go to Modeling and Curves, and I duplicate those edges. They're called surface curves in this case. Maya takes a second to calculate all this, and the curves will appear here in just a moment. They're all there now. We have all the curves here, but Maya doesn't render them. And that is the case because we need to tell Arnold to render the curves. I actually just want to see the curves, so I hide the horse. And I see all the curves I just copied. When I render the scene now, I see only the gray surface here, but none of the curves. When you select one of the curves, for example this one, you can open the duplicate curves shape 59 in this case, and open the Arnold section, and then tell Arnold to render this curve by clicking on this icon. But in order to do this for all of them, except for the mesh, this is only the attribute for the last selected curve here, and not for all of them. In this case, curve number 263, if you turn it on, Arnold will only render that curve. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it all right. It's only one, you see, and that doesn't make sense. Let's undo this. And that's what the channel box is ideal for. So let's select all of the curves here, and the first one with the Shift key. So we have them all selected now. And now instead of the attribute editor, we go to the channel box. You can reach the channel box either by clicking here or by using Control A again. It toggles between the attribute editor and the channel box. The channel box looks very lean in comparison to the attribute editor, and you can't do as many things as in the attribute editor, but you can do things for many objects. And here you see duplicate curve 1 ... That means all the selected curves will be affected by what we change here now. For example, the translation in X, or the, let's do that, translation in X by 10. So it will get closer to us. But down here we have AI render curve, and it's currently turned off for all curves. Let's turn it on, and it will be turned on for all curves. So instead of going in the attribute editor from curve to curve to curve and turning it on, we turn them all on now. And the curve width here is currently set to 0.01. Let's set it to 0. That's just a feeling, just 0.1. And the sample rate and etc. You could choose this as well, for example. Now let's render the scene. This is the horse in Wireframe now. Rendered in Arnold. Let's make this a little bit thinner so it looks more elegant. 0.4. Yeah, isn't that nice? So that's basically a rendering things with Arnold. The curves and lots of curves here with the channel box, which enables us to switch on and off collective informations. Final touch with a nice light from the side, which gives us shadows for the curves. Enjoy and have a nice day.